Okay, so let's just jump right in. There's this really surprising travel trend happening that completely flips the script on everything we thought we knew about the youngest generation of adults. It's sort of a quiet revolution, and it all starts with a simple choice: a rave or a ruin. You know the stereotype, right? Loud, fast, always chasing the next party, the next viral moment. But what if that's not even half the story? What if there's this whole other side emerging that's slow, quiet, and looking for something way deeper? That's the big puzzle we're going to try and piece together. So, to really get what's going on, we first have to unpack this story we've all been told for years. This powerful and maybe completely mistaken image of the Gen Z traveler. For the longest time, the story was super simple. The travel industry, the media, they all saw this generation as wanting one thing: high energy trips. The beach raves, the all night party tourism, the constant hunt for that perfect viral photo op. That was the box. That's where they were put. But here's the thing: that's just not the whole picture, not even close. If you actually look, a totally different narrative is being written. And it's not happening in nightclubs, it's unfolding in the quiet, historic streets of cities all around the globe. So what gives? What's driving this huge change? Well, the thing you really have to understand, isn't about what this generation is running towards. It's about what they're so desperately trying to run from. And this one idea, it changes everything. What we've been seeing is restlessness. It's not. It's overstimulation. It's not some generational short attention span. No way. It's a totally understandable reaction to a world that is always, always on. I mean, just think about it for a second. This is a generation that grew up literally swimming in a river of infinite content, endless scrolling, constant pings and notifications, just constant noise. So for them, an escape isn't just about hopping on a plane. It's about fundamentally changing their reality. And that brings us to the most crucial point here. For Gen Z, silence isn't boring. It's a luxury. It's a precious, rare commodity. So travel isn't just about escaping your boring 9 to 5 anymore. It's about escaping the constant, overwhelming noise of modern life. And that's where something like heritage travel comes into the picture. It's not just another vacation option. It's basically the antidote. It offers the very things the digital world struggles to give us: real context, deep connection, and a sense of understanding your place in a world that feels, well, pretty chaotic a lot of the time. Okay, but this whole preference for slow, quiet travel goes even deeper than just a digital detox. It's a genuine search for identity, for a sense of belonging in the world. When you boil it all down, this entire trend is being pushed forward by one of the biggest, most fundamental human questions we can ever ask ourselves. And that, of course, leads to the next question: where do I fit in? In a world of fluid identities and really uncertain futures, this kind of travel provides some powerful grounding. It connects them to a story that's way bigger than just themselves. And just think about the difference here. A fleeting party is fun, sure, but it's over when the music stops. These kinds of experiences, they offer something that actually lasts. You get a real sense of continuity with the past. You build cultural literacy. You create these emotional anchors. And all of that helps foster that deep-seated feeling of belonging we all crave. This right here, this is the absolute core of the value shift. It's a move away from just capturing the perfect aesthetic for a social media post, and a move towards finding genuine authenticity, in real conversations with actual people, in human stories, in perfectly imperfect spaces. So let's look at how this personal choice is starting to create this massive ripple effect. It's sparking this quiet revolution that is completely redefining what we even value in travel in the first place. I mean, seriously, think about it. We live in a world obsessed with speed and efficiency. So in that context, to actively choose slowness, that's a powerful statement. It's a quiet form of rebellion against that endless cycle of fast fun that, let's be honest, often leaves you feeling kind of empty after. And this shift totally redefines what a status vacation even looks like. The old status symbols, they were all about exclusivity and expense, being seen at expensive resorts, right? The new status is all about understanding and connection. The goal is no longer just to be seen, but to truly understand. Of course, this kind of choice often sparks a little debate, especially across generations. You hear this question a lot because it challenges these long-held ideas that being young has to equal being reckless, and that fun has to be loud. The thing is, they are enjoying themselves. They're just doing it differently. So, the takeaway for the entire travel industry is crystal clear. The definition of a desirable experience has fundamentally changed. They don't want the same old generic itineraries. They want stories, they want context, they want real human connection, and they want meaningful experiences. And it's so important to get this right. This is not a generation that's rejecting fun, not at all. They are simply redefining it. They're seeking enjoyment, but they're doing it through a different, more substantial, and more meaningful lens. Ultimately, what we're witnessing here is a generation that's consciously looking back into the past, not to retreat from the future, but as a way to build a more intentional and grounded future for themselves. So, what does this all mean? This is so much more than just a travel trend. It's a signal. In a world that's completely obsessed with speed, what happens when an entire generation starts to choose depth instead? That choice, well, that choice could change everything.